Hello, my name is Brian Wesley Johnson, and welcome to Soulivity Weekend. Wow, we have such a great show for you today. First of all, you're going to get a chance to spend some time with a dear friend of mine. His name is Sebastian Zutant, and he is just a great guy, funny, but he's also a wonderful entrepreneur and a local restaurateur. He's been involved in 4 amazing restaurants here in DC, with the latest being his French-inspired Primrose. So you don't want to miss that. And then later, our own Higher Health Now, Rachel Kaplan, is going to lead us through some breath work. This is such an important aspect of our overall wellness and mindfulness and how to keep us centered every single day. So enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Sebastian, thank you so much for having me here.
Thanks for coming.
Been a fan of Primrose a long time. We've been coming here about 2 years now?
Yep, just about that. Right before the pandemic, right? Cool.
Right before the pandemic. It really reminds us of home, which we call Paris, which is like our second home.
Yeah, it's a great place.
I really wanted to interview you because you have this energy, this spirit that you bring into this place. I can see it and feel it whenever we come in here.
We're in a restaurant.
We're in a restaurant.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of give our viewers a little bit of information about you. Like, you're from the DC area.
Yep.
What was it like growing up here? Let's start from the beginning.
So I grew up in Rockville, which is 14 miles, give or take, outside of DC, directly up Georgia Avenue. And I didn't have much experience with DC when I was like a little kid, but when I was in high school, for better or worse, I was sent to private school because I needed to go to private school. But it was on the border of DC and Wheaton. And so I would just jump the train after school and like come down here and skate and go to punk shows and all that stuff. And so I really got familiar with DC that way. And back then, you know, we're talking like 92, shit was rough.
Yeah, it's a little different.
It's very different. It's very different. And so I saw all the changes, and some are better than others, and some are not great. You know, quite frankly, I think I've been pretty disappointed by the development of the city in terms of like how it's wiped out a lot of, you know, low income artists, musicians. It's all been wiped out. There is no, there's none of that. So they can't afford to live here. Nobody.
And again, that's why I think the flavor that you bring into this place is so special, because it has that artisan feel. It feels like you're trying to bring some of that back in your own space.
For sure. I mean, so I went to school for art.
Right.
And I went to school for photography. It's neither here nor there. But my point is this. I see restaurants as a very, very like creative outlet for me and for my staff involved. Especially when it comes to cooking or wine or cocktails, things like that, where there's actually a craft behind it. But I even consider like proper service a craft, you know? Like, I mean, it's one of the only jobs on the planet where you can move to another place in this world, and as long as you speak the language, you'll be just fine. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
And it's a special thing to work in, and it's full of its ups and downs, but, you know, but I do like the creativity aspect of it. You know, I come in here and get to sort of like do things every day that take a lot of that creative energy out of my body in a good way.
Was it always that way for you? I mean, So did you always know that you wanted to be in the creative arts or in something creative?
So my dad worked a lot when I was young, so I didn't see a lot of him, and he was like doing the business thing. And so I was primarily raised by my mom, and my mom is very involved in the art world, and so I was just raised around it. So yeah, I knew I wanted to do it at a very young age, and I just kind of kept that up. And my partner Heather is a art teacher, and our house is full of art, and it's just, you know, she's a painter, and so it's just, I got a nice arty full life. It's good. It's good stuff.
How did you make the transition from art school in Charleston, correct? And photography to food, beverage, specifically like wine, right?
Well, okay, so that's a pretty convoluted story.
Well, we have this beautiful Grand Coup, right?
Yeah,
so,
it's yummy stuff, bad and boozy. So after you go to art school, you get out of art school, or you know, and you're like, I'm going to be an artist.
Right.
And then you move to New York City, like I did, or you know, anything else, and you realize very quickly that unless you are a very successful commercial artist, it's probably not going to be something that you can live on. Right. So I was working in restaurants when I was in school, and I transferred that to, I moved home, and you know, I transferred that sort of like knowledge of restaurants into working in restaurants that I found very interesting and had progressive wine programs. So I don't know why, but I just got interested in the wine world. And I left, how did it go down? So I left Chef Geoff's, which had a pretty progressive wine program for the time that it was. You know, we're talking like 2000,
right.
Up near American University. And I left there and I worked with Johnny, who is now, still to the day, owner of Komi and Little Cerro.
Right.
I did a couple of jobs in a couple of different places. Most notably was Nectar, which was like a 3-star restaurant down in Foggy Bottom. And they had a very progressive wine program. And I just paid attention. Jared Slip was a really great teacher. And I listened and I listened and I listened. And I left there and opened Komi. And so I had some kind of like fine training in there. But nothing like rigorous at that point.
So Komi was like the first, like, where you're really stepping out.
Oh yeah, Johnny was like,
what was that like?
Fuck, man, that was weird. I mean, because I didn't know what I was doing at all, and like for the most part, like Johnny knew how to cook, but he certainly didn't know how to run a restaurant. Right. You know, so we were both just like, and it worked out. You know, like it took a while to work out, but that's okay. You know, Johnny's an unbelievable talent, and he's a great dude, and he's a dear friend. And I just love the way that he cares for his businesses. You know, he's a very, very great business owner, and working with him was a lot of fun. And it was really molding, you know, like it kind of like forced me to be in that job. Okay. So all of a sudden I was training service, and I was designing wine programs when I had no experience doing it. And it was cool. But I think I really attribute that to the fact that I have, and obviously I'm just a weird kid, but I attribute that to a lot of the fact that I don't pay too much attention to a lot of like major growing regions and like things like that. I just think there's a whole world of wine that's out there to be explored. And because we didn't really have a lot of money, I was already doing that. Right. So that was my intro, and I just kind of kept on that road. So
it sounds like this is like old school training, right? Yeah. Where even people like Anthony Bourdain and some of the other great, even chefs, you're washing dishes.
Totally.
And then you're making your way up and learning the trade as you go up, not going off to a school to learn about X, Y, Z. So is it that kind of flavor?
Yeah, I didn't really start my like somm training, whatever you want to call it, until Proof. So that was like 2007. And I started, I want to say that was maybe it was Rasika. Because it might have been Rasika, because I wanted to make sure that I was at least like trained enough to say that I was a somm, other than just calling myself a somm. So I did the Court of Master Sommeliers, and I got through, I did intro, and I did certified sommelier in 2 days in a row.
What?
Yeah, a lot of people do it. But I had so much of a background at that point. Just like on-job training. I had already had like 3 years on-job training.
Okay.
So a lot of that shit was just like, I had to get through service, but like I knew how to get through service. I had to get through tasting, but I knew how to get through tasting.
Right.
They didn't really focus a lot on the book stuff, and I'm not good at books. So I didn't really do so well the next level. But that's all right.
Have you ever thought about like that part, like going off and
Nah, it doesn't appeal to me. I don't really see the benefit in it, and that's not to knock anybody that did it. I've got great friends who are master somms, and it's a really, really, really tough thing to do. It's incredibly difficult.
Right.
It's just not for me.
Right.
So,
And coming up,
if you didn't
I
have
would
the
think
love,
so. Yeah,
you probably wouldn't have done that.
I would like to think so. It was because of my love.
so stay tuned for more Soulivity Weekend.
Hi there, Sheila Applegate here with some exciting news. I've joined the incredible Soulivity team as the host of the new Consciously Awesome live show, where I will be sharing insights to help you discover your full brilliance and claim the vibrant life you deserve. So, tune in every Wednesday right here on Soulivity TV to join the fun, and remember to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an awesome week, and I will see you on Wednesday.
You can find all the Satanic products at our Go shop on Soulivity at go.soulivity.com now. Shop for beauty products, skincare, hair care. It is all there at the Go shop. Go shop Soulivity. And now back to more from Soulivity Weekend.
But you knew specifically, like at Komi and then maybe at Proof, this is where you wanted to be.
Oh, for sure. I mean, when it got to Proof, like I was like, fuck it, this is my life. You know what I mean? Like I was like running a 1,500 label program where I was selling like, I mean, dude,
Man.
there was parties like Mark, God rest his soul, amazing man, unbelievably generous, like seriously like my second dad. And I mean that in like the most like,
Oh yeah.
like I would have fights with him like my dad, you know what I mean? Like Sebastian, you know, like serious shit. Like we would get into serious shit, but then also there was so much love and so much kindness and so much respect. But that man showed me the world. That man literally showed me the world of wine. And dude, he would allow me to drink like 59 first growths. You know, like they would have parties. He and his wine friends would come over and have like really crazy parties, but like he would invite me to them, you know, and like, because he wanted me to see it and understand it and like,
and immerse
So
yourself
cool.
in
Yeah.
it. Well, mainly probably too because he saw the love. If you
yeah,
didn't
I
have
would
the
think
love,
so. Yeah,
you probably wouldn't have done that.
I would like to think so. It was because of my love.
And just to put a little fine point on this, Proof to this day, even though you're not there, set a benchmark.
Oh, for sure.
For wine specifically in DC.
Bro, I was selling glasses of Sassicaia, glasses. I was selling it by the glass for $70 a glass, and I was selling like 6 bottles a week. It was crazy. That shit was wild. But you got to remember, that was the days of like fast money DC, and we were right down in, you know, we were right down there by the stadium and like all that shit.
Right.
There was a bunch of dudes just spending tons of money.
DC again, from when we talked before from 92 to that time to even, they're completely different worlds.
Oh, yeah. So different.
Completely different.
Nothing exists down there anymore.
Exactly. What was the hardest thing you had to learn?
Hardest thing I've had to learn.
in this instance, I mean, like going through this process, going from, because, you know.
The whole thing, you mean, or just one?
Well, just, you knew that this was your passion, right? You came out of art school and you started doing this thing. You're like, wow, I really like this, right? But you still had to go through the process of learning and perfecting your craft.
For sure. So
what was the hardest thing during that period for you?
Do you mean as a restaurateur or, okay. So, well, first of all, I will say this, I'm always learning, and I'm learning every single day. Okay. And honestly, what I've had to learn that is the hardest, probably the fact that I cannot be friends with my employees. That's a tough lesson to learn. And because the thing is, like, I've always been a sommelier, right? So, like, I'm sort of like somewhere in the middle of management. Like, am I a manager? Who's to say? Yeah, so when I started owning my own business, let's start with Red Hen, of course.
Right. Which is
a fantastic restaurant. Mike and Mikey do a great job.
The Italian version of Primrose, or the French version.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Right.
So those guys were always like, just make sure that you don't become friends with your employees. But the thing is, like, it was so hard for me to disassociate it. And I just never learned it there, honestly, which was, or maybe I did, but like at that point, I had already decided to open Primrose. But another hard thing to learn was like, well, no, that was it. That was it, honestly, like, because it's hard to draw those boundaries when you're close with people, you know what I mean? And like, it's an industry where things can get out of hand quickly. And so if you don't have those boundaries set, things can get out of hand quickly. And you have to make sure that your eye is always on what's going on. Always, always, always. And that comes down from, you know, like the front door to watching the bathrooms to making sure your staff's not eating in the kitchen when they're supposed to be washing their tables.
Right.
You know, it's a constant state of watching.
I like that. I do. I like that as an entrepreneur, you're following this path toward, because it's a business, you love it, right? If you were able to have a good life and, you know, not make $1 million or whatever it is, but still have a good life, you'd still do this, right?
Yeah.
So you have to have boundaries around how you see your vision being executed by your employees, and that maybe their vision is to be here, maybe they're just following their journey through and going to someplace else.
And typically that is the case.
Right. So you have to make sure that they're following your direction, because this is your life. You're creating your best life here.
Right.
And they get some benefits of that as they're going along through theirs.
Absolutely.
I never really thought about it from that perspective in that way.
Yeah, it's just a really important thing. Because it becomes really difficult to tell somebody they're doing something wrong if they're your friend. Right. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, there's like weird, you know what I mean? Then there's weirdness, and then you feel weird, and then it's just fucked up. And like, and like restaurants can get out of hand real quick, real quick. You know, there's a lot of emotion. It's really high intensity. And it's just very, very easy for things to get out of hand really quickly. So I find it absolutely best to just like keep everybody where they're supposed to be.
Right.
Everybody stay in your lane.
Right. And my guess is there's probably certain people that you have a little bit more relationship of than others, but the boundaries are very clear.
The boundaries are there.
Are even clear.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. That is an important point.
And the hardest thing I had to learn. And honestly, the other hardest thing I've had to learn is how to own a restaurant by myself, because it was Mike and Mikey that I was with at Red Hen.
Right.
And those guys handled so much of the business aspect because I was the somm. And now I handle a lot of it. You know, I have great general manager and a great AGM and a really great accountant and bookkeeper. But But having to learn how to basically take responsibility for everything was also a big lesson.
Wow.
But I like it.
Yeah, I know. Again, it shows. It shows, and the lessons that you kind of learned, the knowledge and experience that you acquired over these years, from going to Komi, to Proof, to Rasika, to Red Hen. I mean, these are institutions now, right, in DC, to now Primrose, which is now, I would say, a new institution, because this is now a mainstay. We're doing all right. I'm going to take an act of privilege here, because I've been coming here since the beginning through two chefs.
Yeah, baby.
I'm glad you guys are doing well, but I also miss the
quiet times.
The quiet time.
When you had this joint to yourself.
Exactly. You come in on a Sunday and hang out, and it's like quiet or whatever. But I will deal with that. I will deal with. I'm ecstatically happy that you guys are doing so well.
Awesome.
And there's adversity.
Big time.
The pandemic was hard on the restaurant scene, on everybody. I don't know of any owner that didn't have to start thinking out of the box.
Yeah. I mean,
how did you guys survive? What was your story?
Like that is so my wheelhouse. Like,
right.
Figure it the fuck out. You know, like, all right. Like, I will figure it out quickly. Like, if you give me a computer program to figure out, I'm gonna get pissed and walk away. But if you challenge me with like a project like that is like non-technical, I'll get it done, and it'll be creative, and it'll be like, and I guess that's the thing, is like, that was a creative jaunt. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, that was like
pandemic, that kind of deal.
Big time. That was like all about creativity, and I was so into it. Like, even the weird videos on Instagram and all that shit.
Right,
like, it was
right,
like it was like constant entertainment to myself, because I was here by myself for like 4 months.
Right.
It was me and Antonio in the kitchen, and that was dark. But
tell us what you did though, because I know what you did.
So we turned into Larry's fried chicken and cheese, baby.
Larry's
fried chicken and cheese.
Chicken and cheese.
Yeah, man. So
okay, first of all, where did the idea come from?
Drunken laziness. I'm somewhere around there. Okay, so like, I've always wanted to have, like, I've got 7,000 concepts for restaurants in my brain.
Gotcha.
And one of them is, I'm just not dumb enough to open them, by the way.
Right.
One of them is basically Larry's fried chicken and cheese, which is just like indulgent home food, you know, cheesesteaks, burgers, chicken wings, pizza, like shit like that, and like baller natural wine. And I just thought it's a great idea, and I don't know, like, I just figured it would work. But I also didn't really have a choice. You know what I mean? It was like, well, what else are we gonna do? Everything's got to be to go. We don't actually have any food that would be good to go, so like, we just had to flip the menu, and we made that good stuff.
And it was successful. And it was highly successful.
It was successful. And then the second I started to see a downturn, I was like, we got to change it. And so we did a few different nights where we did La Union, which was basically like Salvadoran Mexican food, because we basically just let the chefs in the kitchen take over the menu. And that was cool, and that crushed.
And again, how brilliant was that? I mean, I'm gonna crush on you for a little bit.
Thanks, man.
Okay, listen. We're gonna keep the kitchen open. We can do it safely. We can have food going out the door. We have clientele in the neighborhood that we can service. You guys sold out of chicken every single day.
I know, that shit sucked, man. We couldn't keep it in stock.
You could not keep it, but again, there was a market. People wanted the food. You made the turn, and this is two things. I kind of feel this for you. One, again, restaurant, you're keeping employees, you're keeping the kitchen open, you're keeping the restaurant open, but you're also providing an additional service, right?
Yeah.
By introducing people, you know, doing these kind of takeover kinds of things. And it worked.
It did, you know, and honestly, I would like to say that a lot of my peers sort of like did the same thing. A lot of the peers that I have that I have a good deal of respect for did a lot of the same things. I'm not saying I jacked any of their ideas, because I did it in half an hour. But you know, I feel like a lot of people were smart enough and figured out a way to do the pivot. And I feel like those that weren't probably suffered from it a bit. Maybe not. I have no idea. I don't know anybody's business. But then even after that, like when it got to like open, we could have dine-in, but everything was like 6 feet apart. We still did a lot of pop-ups with people, and like new chefs came in and sort of did some new things. And honestly, we were just kind of keeping things light and airy. And that's why you have Primrose Part 2, which is now, because I did take away a lot from Larry's. I realized that like, as much as I loved Primrose Part 1, I think there was a level of, I think it seemed a little bit untouchable by the public. And I think when I started putting boxes on my head and doing weird ass Instagram videos, people were like, all right, maybe it's not that serious of a restaurant. That guy's a fucking weirdo.
Right. And so you got to bring it back to...
And so we brought it back to Primrose, but it's got a lot of Larry's vibe. You know what I mean? We were talking earlier about the music that you listen to in Paris and like how all the restaurants have this like funky shit playing.
Right.
We're very different now. Like, I mean, it like sometimes we have skate videos playing on the screen and hip hop playing, and like we're all very comfortable with it. And none of my staff wear uniforms anymore.
Right.
And I'm very comfortable with it. And it's just, I think COVID also allowed me to, which is ironic because I'm pretty much myself anyways, be even more myself or have more of myself and my staff's personalities in the restaurant. So that was a positive to come out of it all.
Wow.
And coming up,
a lot of it came from the pandemic, like really just kind of like being able to be like, fuck, like I can't be, like life's not that serious anymore. Like we could all die. You know what I mean? Like that.
So stay tuned for more Soulivity Weekend.
Are you ready to take that first step towards true, unwavering inner happiness? Are you like thousands of people who have everything they need, not want, but need, and still can't seem to find happiness and fulfillment in their lives? If so, the Steps to Happiness show is for you. On my show, you will learn about the principles and practices that lead to true inner happiness. Because guess what? It isn't found in our external environment, but within ourselves instead. Together with my guests, we will explore the latest physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being practices. And together we'll advise you on the actionable steps you can take towards a happier, more fulfilled, authentic life. So I invite you to join me each week on Soulivity TV on the Steps to Happiness show with me, Teresa Greco.
We work so hard sometimes. Isn't it time for a break? Take a walk. Or enjoy nature. Or maybe a leap. Or a ride. Or even a dip. Spending time with a friend. Or some time alone. Whatever it is, always spend time growing and learning with a Soulivity Weekend. Every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on Soulivity TV. And now back to more from Soulivity Weekend.
I love the fact that you're talking about your love, right? Primrose is a expression of your love, but your love seems to me deeper than just even this space, because even as you're going through the challenges of the pandemic here, one, you rested on your love, which is you were figuring all this stuff out. as you were moving. You knew this was your passion, but you still had to figure it out as you're going along. So now you're back. Oh, well, we just got to figure this out. It's a big deal, but we got this, right? And
yeah, I mean, it certainly didn't start that way.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, well, yeah.
I mean, there was a 3-day drunken stupor where I don't really remember much, and the restaurant was closed.
Right, like, okay, what the hell are we going to do,
Yeah.
right? But through that, you gained all these lessons. You came out of it, and you said, there's some things here. This isn't just, oh, well, we're now done, so we just go back to business as usual. It's like, we did some cool things, and let's bring that forward. Even Sasha was talking about that Primrose was Primrose, but even Primrose now, there's this lighter feeling.
Yeah, and honestly, that's the way it was always supposed to be, but it just didn't happen that way, and a lot of it came from the pandemic. Like, really just kind of like being able to be like, fuck, like, I can't be, like, life's not that serious anymore.
Right.
Like we could all die.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that. So provide great service, provide a great atmosphere, but like also like feel comfortable in your own skin, and, you know, don't take for granted every second that you walk on this planet, and, you know, like, try to enjoy your life while working, rather than having it such like a rigorous kind of like serious situation. And it is still that, but it's lighter and airier, like this was always supposed to be. And I think, you know, the vibe in here is very different because of it, and we're just a little bit more like upbeat and approachable, and I love it.
I like that. You beat me to my last question.
Oh, okay.
which was again, I mean, you came back to what is it about this that I really love and truly want to give to people, right? How do I want to be even of service in this space? Because if you're not doing that, you're not selling, right? You're not.
Agreed.
Your business is not, because out of a lot of businesses, restaurants have to be about being of service, of high quality service, and, you know, providing whatever the products are going to be and the quality that you want to provide them and all that. So I can truly appreciate that, because that's one of the things that we try to get people to realize, that you can have your love and you can be doing this stuff. If the outer expression of that isn't to really serve somebody else, and like, you never know what people are going through.
Nope.
And they can come in here and they can have a good quality meal. They can have a great glass of wine. And it can change the trajectory of their day.
Yeah, I mean, it's a vacation for like an hour and 2 hours out of whatever shit they're going through. And the first thing that I ever say to people when I'm hiring, are you capable of being kind? It's the first thing I say.
Wow.
Every server that's ever worked here, are you capable of being kind? Because that's the most important part in this industry.
Wow.
Just treat each other with kindness, and like everything will be good. Like, honestly, some people are assholes, and they're going to be assholes, but like, it's not on you to treat that person back like an asshole. It's on you to just be like, have a great day.
Have a great day.
And just move on. You don't have to do everything to make that person not be an asshole.
I think that is something that we can probably take into just everyday life.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
You don't have to go there with people where they are, right? Where if they're having a miserable day or whatever, you don't have to like match that intensity with you fighting back.
Right.
You can just be kind.
Just be nice, because you don't know what they're going through.
Wow. Well, on that, I'm going to once again thank you for this wonderful interview, this wonderful wine.
Yeah, Barnett was baller.
And we'll be right back with more Soulivity Weekend. Cheers.
Stay tuned for more Soulivity Weekend.
Thank you for tuning in to Beauty and Gratitude with D'Angelo Thompson. That's me. We're going to focus on beauty from the inside out, and gratitude being the cornerstone of your life. I will have amazing guests from all walks of life, from wellness experts to beauty, tech, fashion, you name it, they will be here. And we have amazing names coming up in the near future. So tune in every 2 weeks, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Soulivity TV or Soulivity Magazine. Thank each of you for watching, and focus on life, focus on gratitude. Thank you.
And now back to more from Soulivity Weekend.
Hello and welcome back to Soulivity Weekend. You know, I find in my own life that a regular practice of meditation and other wellness techniques helps me keep grounded and peaceful no matter what's going on in my life. Watch this great segment with Higher Health Now's Rachel Kaplan as she talks about breath work and how it can really affect your life in a positive way every single day. Enjoy.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Rachel Kaplan. I am the CEO, founder of Higher Health Now with Rachel. And today I'm just so honored I get to share and teach you something called ancient Tibetan breathing. And this is ancient Tibetan breathing is actually designed to help train our minds to think right thought. So you're ever about in your day and your body's doing one thing, your mind's thinking another thing. The mind hates the body hates the mind, right? So this breath work is really, really essential in helping training our mind to think right thought, to really support us so that we can go out in the world and be the best version of ourselves. So I'm really, really excited to teach this to you. I will say that during the breathing exercises, if you've never done anything like this before, you may feel lightheaded, you may feel dizzy, you may feel tingling in your spine or in your body, you may start to feel heat in your body, and that is all normal, and it's actually a good thing, and it means that you're doing it right. And the most important part about this breath work is that you feel. So it's that you feel the tingling sensation, the lightheaded sensation, like that you're feeling all those things. Just feel it and don't be afraid of it. Really what you're doing is you're moving your prana, also known as your life force, your breath, through your body in a very intentional way. And so you're waking up certain cells and nerves and organs and moving blood also essentially through your body very, very quickly, which is good stuff, right? So the first breathing exercise I'm going to teach you is called harmonic breathing. Harmonic breathing is also known as balancing the right and left side of your body, which helps to connect you and balance you with your surroundings, your physical surroundings, where you are in space, but then also connecting you and really grounding you with source energy and the larger universal energy that is always supporting you. So it's a very powerful breathing exercise. And you may have seen it done with your thumb and pinky, or your thumb and your ring finger. I was taught to do this breath work with both of my thumbs. So that's the way I'm going to teach it to you. All right. And I like to do this breath work with my eyes closed. The reason being is that I turn inward and escape the outside world. I turn inward. And you can really feel your breath with your eyes closed. And again, that's the most important part. So let's just start with posture. Your posture is very important. I'm sitting on the floor. You can sit on the floor or on a pillow if you want your hips a little bit higher than your knees, especially if you have tight hips. You can also just be sitting in a chair, a normal chair, and having your feet flat on the floor, your knees 90-degree angle, and sit, if you're in a chair, sit towards the front part of your chair so you can really sit tall in your spine, and lift your shoulders up and down, and just really stretch your spine up. Feel the length of your spine, the length of your back, and just breathing in and out through your nose. Start by feeling gratitude for breath. Our breath is really the only thing that stays with us throughout our entire life, throughout our entire journey on this earth. And when you're born, you inhale. And when you decide to leave your body and transition, you exhale. right? So your breath is with you throughout your entire life, throughout your entire journey. And it's something our body does unconsciously. Thank goodness, right? Thank goodness our body can breathe without us having to think about it, right? It keeps us alive, it keeps us going. So just taking a moment before we begin to really feel gratitude for breath. All right, let's cover the right nostril. And you're going to inhale for 4 counts on the left side, through the left side. You're going to hold the breath for 16 counts. And then cover the left nostril, let go of the right nostril, and then exhale slowly for 8 counts. And then inhale for 4 counts to the same side. Hold for 16. Cover the right, let go of the left, and then exhale slowly for 8 counts. If you've never done this before, 16 counts may feel like a long time. And if at any point you have to let go of the breath, you have to, exhale, that's fine. Just keep trying, keep practicing. This is something that you get better with over time. So I just want to encourage you to practice this daily, and you'll get better at it. I remember when I first did this, I felt kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm going to pass out. You don't. But again, this is all just new things. So just be open to trying this, because when you learn how to really hold your breath, it's a very powerful feeling. I will say the more relaxed you are, the easier it is to hold your breath. So you can even just try this right now. Just go ahead, inhale, and hold the breath. Now relax your shoulders. Relax the face. All right, you notice how much easier it is to hold the breath when you're relaxed? Very normally we hold the breath and we tense the shoulders. And you struggle to hold the breath, right? It doesn't work. So I'm going to remind you over and over again as you're holding to relax the shoulders and relax your face as you hold the breath for 16 counts. All right. And then again, on the exhale, when you exhale for 8 counts, in the beginning, you may want to just kind of exhale completely. And eventually you will learn how to control that exhale for 8 counts. And again, it's a very powerful feeling when you do that. So don't be afraid. Give it a try. Trust that your breath is with you, supporting you. It's not going anywhere. And I say, let's just jump in. Let's try this. All right, so sitting tall on your spine, shoulders up and down. Go ahead and close the right nostril. Exhale completely. And let's begin. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax the shoulders. Relax the face. The more relaxed you are, the easier it is to hold your breath. 13, 14, 15, 16. Now cover the left nostril, let go of the right, and exhale slowly for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Empty your lungs completely. Now inhale for 4 counts. Seal the breath. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Continue to stretch your spine out. Face relaxed. The more relaxed you are, the easier it is to hold your breath. Cover the right nostril, let go of the left, and exhale slowly. Empty your lungs and inhale. Full lungs. Hold it. Visualize the left side filled with light. Hold that light. Shoulders relaxed. Face relaxed. Stretch up through your spine. Cover the left nostril, let go of the right, and exhale slowly. Empty your lungs completely. Inhale. Full lungs. Hold it. Now visualize the right side filled with light. Hold that light. Shoulders relaxed. Face relaxed. Cover the right, let go of the left. Exhale. Empty your lungs. Inhale. Hold it. Left side filled with light. Cover the left, let go of the right. Exhale. Empty your lungs. Inhale. Hold it. Visualize the right side filled with light. Transfer that light to the left side. Cover the right nostril. Exhale through the left nostril. Pushing that light through the left side. Cleansing any negative energy, toxins, vibrations. Push it all out. Nothing that's serving you. Inhale. Full lungs. Left side filled with light. Hold that light. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Face relaxed. Transfer that light to the right side. Cover the left nostril. Let go of the right. Exhale. Pushing the light through the right side. Cleansing the right side. Empty your lungs. Inhale. Hold it. Right side filled with light. Cover the right, let go of the left, and exhale. Pushing that light through the left side of your body. Cleansing, healing. Now drop your hands and just drop your chin to your chest. And just start to breathe normally in and out through your nose, noticing, feeling any differences in the body. Maybe it was difficult for you to hold the breath the first time. That's okay. Just knowing and understanding that you're learning something new. It takes time, takes practice. And just trusting that you are doing it right. And that you're just beginning your journey of the harmonic breath. All right, next breathing exercise, if you want to open your eyes quickly and just watch as I demonstrate. So this next breathing exercise is called pranic breath. And it's actually, pranic breath means skull cleansing or memory enhancing breath. This breath is a bit more vigorous than the harmonic breathing that we just did. And the visual I like to give is, think about shaking a soda bottle, right? Shaking like a club soda bottle and shake, 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 right? That's basically what you're doing when you're doing this pranic breath, is you're moving your breath vigorously through your body in a very forced manner. And for me, every time I do this breathing exercise, I feel heat in my body. I start to sweat a little bit, and that's normal. Okay, so don't feel like there's something going wrong if that starts to happen, right? That's normal. And I'll just go ahead and demonstrate what it looks like and sounds like before we begin. So same posture. So really making sure you're sitting tall in your spine. Exhale completely. Drop your head, chin to your chest. When you lift your head up, you're going to inhale through your nose and fill up your lungs like this. Watch. And then when you exhale, you're going to push the air through your teeth and empty your lungs completely using the abdominal wall. You will notice that you use your abdominal wall. So it's inhale, exhale. Inhale, full lungs. Exhale, empty your lungs. Right, really forced. Okay. We do this 49 times in a row. The traditional way to practice is to do this 7 times, so that it still equals 49. So I'll make sure to keep count so that you don't have to. I use my fingers. So if you do decide to practice this on your own, you can use your fingers to keep count. But we'll do 7 times, 7 times. And let's just begin with gratitude. Once again, just feeling gratitude for breath. So grateful for my breath. Okay, let's exhale completely and let's give it a go. Let's begin. Inhale. And just pause. But just feel. Remember, the most important part is that you feel. Second round, begin. Pause. Maybe start to feel tingling in your spine. Begin. Just pause. Just feel. We start to feel buzzing in the body. Begin. Pause. Fifth round, begin. Pause. Just feel. Sixth round, begin. Pause. And last round, really go for it. Begin. Keeping your eyes closed, chin to your chest. Just feel. I'm now about to say the spiritual affirmation. As I say these words out loud, please visualize these words to yourself, keeping the eyes closed. Continue to feel. And now imagine a great light above my head. The top of my head is relaxed and heavy. The muscles of my face are loose. There is no pressure in my teeth. My jaw is relaxed and heavy. But oh, I feel so happy. I feel happy all over my being, particularly my beautiful face. My face is covered with smiles. My body is covered with the warmth of my smiles. I feel a gentle pressure from within that takes away all the wrinkles produced by sorrows, concerns, difficulties, and fear. I feel happy all over my being. And now the light goes down. Chest relax. Abdomen falls. And the light goes all the way down to the tip of my toes. Now I see this great light illuminating my back and the back of my neck. And I look from above my beautiful spine, and as though I see a waterfall of sunlight laying within it. I see countless sparks of bright light, light, light. If your eye is one, the only eye, the eternal eye, the spiritual eye, the third eye, the eye I am using right now. If your eye is one, your whole being will be filled with light. Now I know that each countless number of cells in my body is a light, a lamp, a torch, bringing me to the divine wisdom within me. The light corresponds perfectly to the flame, as the flame corresponds perfectly to the fire of divine love. That is the center of my being. And now, feeling happy, feeling grateful, almost without noticing, I take a soft, short breath and exhale long and deeply. Take one more short breath, and I quickly exhale. And start to blink your eyes open, becoming aware of your environment, your room. Thank you so much for spending some time with me during Soulivity weekend. I hope you found this powerful. If you have any questions, comments, you want to reach out to me, you can find me on Instagram at higher_health. You can also email me at rachel@higherhealthnow.com. Have a wonderful day. Peace.
Stay tuned for more Soulivity Weekend.
Have you ever asked the question, if I was to be anything, what would I be? Regardless of money, regardless of status, beyond popularity and fame. Living your passion, feeling your life has purpose. Soulivity is a space to nurture that which lives in all of us. A place where work can become play, and doing what we love creates the dreams of a lifetime.
And now back to more from Soulivity Weekend.
Hi, and welcome back to Soulivity Weekend. I hope you enjoyed today's show. We've got even more great lifestyle segments coming up in the near future, so watch this space. And on behalf of everyone here at Soulivity, this is Brian Wesley Johnson saying thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Follow us on social media for giveaways, events, and a whole lot more.